alone on this island more than a year now. However, a few days ago, I thought my solitude had ended. A ship went aground near the shore. But there were only dead men on that derelict. Pirates who had killed one another fighting over the division of their booty. I've just finished transporting everything useful on board to the island. Here are food supplies and stores, which are as welcome as they were unexpected. When I think that at this very moment I could have been in chains or hanging from a yardarm, I appreciate fully the pleasure of a long walk with Dick. I've been living alone on this island more than a year now.
That's me 6 years ago, summer 2009. I just got a new camera, the Flip HD 720p camera. We've had a few stages since then, 1080p, then 2.4, 2.5K, and now 4K, which this is in. I haven't got the same level of enthusiasm that I did then, but I should have. Got a little bit. But I've been doing video since the 80s, the early 80s I think it was, when we had this, one of the early real consumer video cameras that came along. And you had to carry a machine on the shoulder strap with videotapes, VHS, and a big camera and a battery like that, and you couldn't get decent pictures unless the lighting was perfect, and so on. Things have come a long way. And really, doing this video, I wanted to get a flavour of an essence of the essence of spring, what it's like here. I won't be here forever, and you know, like I covered in my last video about things about time and death and stuff like that. You know, I won't be here forever. It'll be nice to look back on some of those clips and save the atmosphere again. It's great that it's spring, my favourite time of year, and it's come at a good time. I've been virtually housebound since February, since I had my licence taken off me by the medical people, and I'm due to get it back possibly within the next couple of weeks. And that's going to be a bit strange, because it's a bit like when I was a kid and we used to say to my dad, can we go to the cinema? And he used to say, films on the telly, stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be a bit strange to have my car back. It's dead. The MOT people told me, forget it. Don't spend any money on this car. It will not pass its next MOT. So I've got between now and I think it's next March to save up enough to get a new car. But like I say, I've had a lot of solitude then, confined to the house. But I'm quite good at that. I've done my research into that sort of thing years ago. And I'm quite accustomed to it. But still, you get a dose of cabin fever. It was just coming from the winter, and since like the last video that I did, 45 came and went, and it wasn't very eventful. It was just, you know, that's just the way it is. But the themes remain, time and death. Since the video, not long after I did that video, a couple of people died. And I'll get to the relevance of that a bit later on. But generally just keeping up with my New Year's resolutions of working and like researching around health and well-being sort of thing. with a view to it leading on to something, although nothing's really come along yet that interests me. So I'm just plodding along. Whether it gets anywhere or not, I don't think I really care. I'm just enjoying the ride, sort of thing. A lot of my time has been taken up with eye hospitals. Me having injections in my eyes and my mum having whatever done to her eyes. Done. But with me, apart from that, it's been stuck in the house, getting on with stuff. But gradually of late, as the influence of the seasons comes along and the time of the year and so on and so forth, just diversifying a bit and laying off the heavy research, and just starting to get into the swing of summer, but still plodding along and enjoying it. Because it broadens your horizons, your understanding of yourself and your environment and the relationship between the two. Like I went on in my last video, Death on the Horizon, about time and death, and how they become more foregrounded as you get older, sort of thing. Well, that's sort of continued. Looking at the video, just the difference in the horizon, where the sun is on the horizon. It's quite a distance if you look at the video, but that was only a week, and it's just a little indication. I'm not obsessed with it. It's not something that preoccupies me all the time, sort of thing. It's just another little indication that time is so short. But that was one of the reasons for like doing this video and trying to get a sense of the place, because of that time being so short, and I will not be in this house forever, sort of thing. And I really like the place, and I've done loads of videos of it, but I've never really done one that captures spring. And also because it's just I don't know, if you sit back and just get into it, it is quite it's quite relaxing. Don't know if I've got that across in the video. How chilling how chilled out this time of year is. Like I say, best time of the year by a mile. But getting that down, and this leads to one of my recommendations. I'm going to come up with another one in the next segment, but this is the one recommendation I've got to make, and that is, there's too much content that's talking about online that suggests that people are too consumed with themselves, sort of thing. And even when they're not, there's a lot of content that shows a bit of a lack of awareness, sort of thing, about emotions and moods and mental states and content and so on. And what I'd say is, when my mum's partner was one of the people who died shortly after the last video that I did, and we sat here in front of this computer, and I've got this clip of him that I took with that flip camera that I mentioned at the start, and it's me walking from our living room to the kitchen filming and approaching my mum's partner years ago. But it was like something from the Twilight Zone. As I approached him, it was almost as if, I'm not a atheist. I'm an agnostic. And as I get older, maybe this is part of getting older. Your relationships have more depth, maybe, and so I get a feeling like there's some essence of this guy that cannot be extinguished, sort of thing. It's probably an age thing. But like watching this video and seeing this guy, and like I say, it's in high definition, and it does make a difference, because it's eerie. But the point being, it was an enjoyable experience as well. It was like, there's something to look back on, sort of thing. And even though I've been critical in the past about the family stuff that's put on Facebook, now I'm sort of taking a different view, and that is that it's actually a pretty good thing. You know, you don't have to do videos. This is what I'm saying. Do more videos, and you don't have to put them online, but just have them there to look back on. You know, my Family Feud ended after 7 years, and now I'm involved with my niece's kids, and it's like brilliant to be part of that development that's going on, and how quick it goes. And it's good to have a record of that, as well as other things to look back on. But that leads to my next point, which will come along in the next segment. So things have been happening, and and thinking about what has been happening, what implications that has for, you know, what you can do, and it's got me thinking a lot about the type of content that there is out there. You can't really avoid it. I mean, I don't like the phrase social media. I never have. But if you look at it in those terms, and you look at some of the stuff that's communicated by all of us, you know, it's neurotic. It's like, you know, does this just happen in winter? When are we getting cabin fever or something? You know, crazy stuff. You know, if it's not schmaltzy, it's angry. It's creepy. It's there's so many wrong things about the majority of content that you get on a lot of these social media sites, primarily Facebook and Twitter. Twitter's a bit different. I mean, you got people. Some people consumed with the latest theories of management, which is really exciting, I'm sure. But the really interesting stuff is, you know, what are we doing? You know, what are you up to? You know, life good? Stuff like that. But instead, we get all these crappy quotes. Some of them sound good, but 90% of them are full of shit. Because you think about them for more than 5 seconds and you realise, well, that don't really stand up, does it? But the amount that's being posted and how almost infantilised they are, and how stupid and pointless, and how they cannot possibly be doing anything for the people who are not only posting them, but for the people who are reading them. You know, going back to what I'm saying about health and well-being, maybe it's a bit like food. You know, you are what you eat, and maybe we need to improve our diet. But this is meant, I mean, I'm trying not to have a go, but having a go sort of thing, with good intentions. Well, that's my excuse anyway. But, you know, when we post things, because I've done this a lot, and not just with online stuff, but I'm thinking what the current state of whatever I'm doing is, and so on and so forth, to make improvements. So basically, if you look at some of the stuff you posted, well, what does it say about my mood? What does it say about my philosophy of life? What does it say about, you know, what solutions are available and what I should pursue? And then work on the basis of that, and just set up a gradual cycle of improvement sort of thing. Because there's too much of this stuff that's problem-centred rather than solution-orientated. So basically, you've got a lot of people who are posting stuff that they don't think. I mean, there was this book I read that the CIA technique, where if you can't change something, see if you can influence it. If you can't influence it or change it, just accept it. And have that sort of approach, you know, because, you know, more of a problem-solving approach. Because the way things are, you know, there's no real development going on. And part of the problem with that is we were never taught, you know, the way we were just taught to be economic tools. We were just taught to, you know, God, Queen, country, like this part of the world, you know your place or we'll show you your place sort of thing. We weren't really taught to be independent to any great degree, you know, independent in economic terms, for example, maybe, but not really in psychological terms, philosophical terms. We weren't taught that. We may think we've got that, but really, judging by a lot of content, we haven't. And that's what I'd say. That would be, to wrap this up, is to say, look for improvements. Time's short. We certainly don't want to spend our days, being short as they are, with the type of content that we've posted. Just leave some sense of, I was here and it weren't a bad ride.